You Americans don't appreciate Indian people. We drive your taxis, we sell you food, we are your gynecologists, we sell you newspapers, we program your computers. Without Indians, you'd be starving, stranded, sexless, sterile and stupid. And that was the first laugh that I got. Hi, this is Veer Das and you're watching me on My Big Vision with Aditya Birla Group. I think it's just that my perspective is the outsider's perspective. I think that's what it is. I was born in Dehradun, and then you get taken from Dehradun to university in the US. Again, you feel like an outsider because it feels a little too American for you, and you study acting, and then you come back to the Hindi film industry where you are the guy from drama school, and then you go to the American film industry where you're the guy from Bollywood. So I've just never really fit in anywhere. The first time I ever did stand-up, it was 90 minutes for 850 people. 10 minutes worked or 15 minutes worked. But I was just confident with silence because I was a drama student. And in drama, it's mostly silence when you're on stage. And so I'd been kind of ushered off stage at the open mic like some 8, 9, 10 weeks in a row. And then finally, I just got sick and tired and I started yelling at the crowd. I was like, and it's not a great joke by any means, but it's still valid. I was like, you Americans don't appreciate Indian people. We drive your taxis, we sell you food, we are your gynecologists, we sell you newspapers, we program your computers. Without Indians, you'd be starving, stranded, sexless, sterile and stupid. And that was the first laugh that I got. Just because it was coming from a true place, not because it was well written at all. So that's what I try and do still, is just try and come from a true place. जब मैं इंडिया वापस आया, back when dinosaurs roamed the planet, कोई scene ही नहीं था. There was no scene. It was literally this. It was like, यार, I'm young. ये art form मेरे को पसंद है. There's a young audience out there. Does anybody else feel the same way I do? तो company का नाम था Weird Ass Comedy, and I called it that because Americans called Veer Das Weird Ass for many years. Suddenly, we became kind of like this homeless shelter for young comics who wanted stage time. Rohan Joshi, Tanmay Bhatt, Anu Menon, Aditya Mittal, Abish, Amog, Shakya, Khamba. I think everybody at some point was on stage with Weird Ass. Then suddenly we got a call from Filmfare. And they were like, "Aake Filmfare likho hamare liye." Then we started writing every award ceremony in India. And for me, it was at a slightly different level where I was like, "Acha, let's go watch the third lead from Badmash Company do stand-up comedy." That वो अपना marketing strategy था. PVR में morning show में जाके ताकि कोई आके मेरे jokes सुन सके. Now you can put out a reel and you can put out a YouTube video and million views. और आ जाते हैं लोग Friday को आपका stand-up देखने के लिए. It's the best time to be a comic. So I've kind of had a second innings with a younger audience, which is very weird. I love a comedian who walks up on stage and says, "Yaar, abhi popular hua hu, lekin for the first 16 years of my life, kisi ne mere se baat hi nahi kiya, and I was a loser in school." Instantly, you have related to that person. You're like, "Arey, main bhi loser tha," or you find some sort of an emotional connection with that person. Look at Zakir. Zakir is so tremendously popular because so many people in India see themselves in a Zakir. And I think that's the mark of a good artist. Can I see myself in you? The audience keeps moving the line and you just have to let them be your teacher. That's what I've learned. What I always tell people is if you hear a joke you don't like, wait 30 seconds and there'll be a joke about somebody else. And you can laugh at that one. I think if a comedian makes fun of you specifically, within their ecosystem, it means that they love you. It is a big sign of love to parody somebody. I've been through my fair share of controversy, and when you come out after that, people are like, "I'm here for you." I don't have people come to the show anymore clinically. They come emotionally. I'm in your corner. I want to hear what you have to say because you and me feel the same way, or we believe, or we have the same hopes, or we have the same courage. But I get a lot of just young people coming to the show and just saying, "You give me hope," and I end up saying, "You give me hope." अगर आपने कभी 5,000 लोगों की हंसी है, if it's ever headed in your direction, that is very therapeutic. So in that sense, yes, laughter, validation is very important, and the occasional Emmy award doesn't hurt. it does make you feel good. So yeah. मेरे को ज़्यादा याद नहीं है because I did not expect to win at all. And then that night, so many people came and just held my face and just told me that they were proud of me or proud of us. And I think then I realized what it meant because of what it meant to them also. So I think sometimes you have to see your happiness in other people's faces, and then it really hits you. What I love about this job is there is a comedian for everybody, no matter what you believe. जो भी आपका आइडियोलॉजी है, अगर आप खड़ूस हैं, अगर आप चिल्ड आउट, देयर इज अ कमेडियन फॉर यू. You know, when people say not funny to a comic, I think the correct thing to say is I didn't find them funny. But the fact that they're succeeding means that there are people who do. मेरा जो big vision है for the Indian stand-up scene is that comedians can only do comedy and be able to pay the bills. That they don't have to do movies, they don't have to write an award ceremony, they don't have to do any of these other things. They can just pay their bills and feed their families by doing stand-up comedy. Now what that means is हर city में 10 clubs होने चाहिए that are supporting these comedians. Club का payment system set होना चाहिए. एक gateway होना चाहिए from club to 500 seater to 1000 seater to 3000 seater to there's an escalation in venues as well. But I think the one thing I would love to see is क्या करते हो? Comedian हो. और क्या करते हो? कुछ नहीं. मैं सिर्फ comedian हूँ. That's when the scene is truly alive. Chris Rock अभी जाके Chris Rock हुआ है. Dave Chappelle अभी जाके Dave Chappelle हुआ है. You know, when they're 25, 30 years in, I'm 16 and a half, 17 years in. There is a genuine opportunity to be an Indian voice that is remembered. And so I want to spend the next 5 years of my life just really getting good at this. I just want to get very, very good at this.